Hi everyone, welcome back. Mauser here, and if you've watched any of my recent hiking adventures, you'll know that I go into some pretty brutal and rough areas of Tasmania. When I am on a hike, it is not uncommon for the Tasmanian weather, the bush, the scrub, and just the general terrain to throw absolutely everything it has at me and my gear. Some of my friends have called me a destroyer of gear.
A destroyer of gear.
As a result of my constantly having to replace different bits of gear over the years. And I'm not looking at you, overpants or trekking poles, but there is one item, and I can only think of one item, and it's this one, which has yet to receive a single tear, puncture, hole, or bit of damage after 5 years of aggressive use in the Tasmanian wilderness. It is this one bit of gear that is at the front line of every battle I have with scrub and weather. What's that bit of gear? It's my outer shell, it's my Gore-Tex, it's my barrier to water entry. It's the Arcteryx Beta AR jacket. This thing. Today we're going to go through why I love this jacket, would I buy it again, and if I needed to get an alternative or a different jacket, we'll quickly look at some of the alternatives as well. If you don't want to watch the video, then there is a link below to download a free PDF with a summary of today's review. That will also sign you up to my newsletter. It's a new thing I'm doing where I just jot down very short, a few ideas, what I've been finding interesting, be it hiking gear, be it tech, be it books, movies, whatever. But it's just a short, brief insight into what I'm finding interesting lately, so feel free to sign up. We've updated the website, mauser.com.au, check that out. But let's get straight into it. Let's have a look at the Arcteryx Beta AR. I've had this jacket since 2018, so I've had it for about 5 years, and I've taken it on pretty much every single extended walk that I've been on since then, which is a lot, and I take it on most day walks as well now. Prior to that, the Mont was a great jacket, but it just wasn't up to the rigours of the Tasmanian scrub and wilderness, and there is absolutely no way I would take it into some thick scrub that we get here because it would get ripped to shreds. Very thin, very lightweight. Great for day walks, great for travel, but not up to the task for what I need it for. I also had a Mountain Designs, very heavy set jacket, weighed about 1 kilo, way too heavy when I want to go on those big 10-day trips in the Tassie wilderness. I was looking for lighter weight options. As I get older, I want to carry less, but I still like a bit of comfort. So we're on the search for a jacket. I found the Beta AR, and it looked like the perfect balance of weight, durability, weather protection, all that good stuff. Right, so I've had the Beta AR, the Arcteryx Beta AR, since 2018. Brought it prior to a big scrub trip that I had then. You can check the video for that down below. It's called the Off-Track Scrub Bash, but I bought it for that trip specifically because I was going to be going through some very thick scrub and I wanted something that wasn't going to tear, and after doing my research, this looked like the way to go, the Beta AR. Now the Beta stands for, or according to the Arcteryx website, Beta means versatile for a dynamic range of activities. The AR means it's an all-around jacket for all types of activities. Isn't that the same thing? I think so. Anyway, that's what that means. So we're going to go into it now. We're going to have a good look at the AR, its advantages, its disadvantages, and what I like and don't like, as well as a few other questions I've got to ask about the Beta AR after 5 years of use. So let's give it a good once over. Some of the specs and the points to note: it's lightweight. The Arcteryx website, they list the medium as weighing 300 grams. I have got the large, and my home scales have the large weighing in at about 484 grams, which I consider quite lightweight for such a durable jacket. So it's got this Gore-Tex Pro fabric, which has a ripstop component to it, which gives it that really good durability. It's waterproof, it's windproof, it's breathable, it's lightweight, it's durable. All the seams on the inside are taped for weatherproofness, so I think it's a proprietary sort of thing they've come up with Gore-Tex, is where they've got the taped seams through there. We've got every joint is taped. So taped seams all the way through. This jacket, remember, and there's a bit of micro suede. This micro suede stuff here, which is nice, this stuff, very nice. You've got your drop back hem, which is this bit which goes down over the bottom. And you've got there's your storm collar right there. Storm collar like that, which I love, and that's where your micro suede comes in when you're walking along. It's a bit cold, it's got that, it's a nice feeling, it's good. And then your hood, storm collar goes all the way around the back, and your hood comes on, and I've got a hat on. Now I can loosen that right off, it's a bit tightened at the moment, but we've got these two cords just to get a good fit. And while I'm on those rainy days, on those really stormy, windy days, I tighten this down, and I can still have full range of vision, but I can be nice and secure in here with a hat on if I need, or without. I can have the fully enclosed and not worry about the weather. It's great. You've also got the wrist straps, which tighten it up. They're very functional, better than I've seen on any other jacket actually, just because they stay there. They stay where you want them to. Then you have the pockets on each side, and the pockets are above your hip belt when you're carrying a pack. So you can still get full access to them, and you can put some gloves and stuff in there, or a beanie, and they're quite big. You can fit a lot of stuff in these while you're walking, which is really a really good thing with them. And the fact that they're above the hip belt makes them really functional. And the pockets are also watertight. These zippers are watertight. These are really, they're cool zippers. Look at that. But there's nothing getting in there at all. You could put a fire hose on that and nothing would get in. But really great pockets. It has got the hem adjusters. Again, if you've watched my recent video on insulated jackets, I think these are a must on any jacket. The hem adjusters on each side, and you can really tighten those hem adjusters up when it's raining and get a really secure seal around your overpants. And you've got the same sort of style zippers as the pockets on the front of the jacket, which zip right up, and you've just got this chin guard. So I do like that. I don't think I had that on previous jackets where it had come a bit lower. I love the fact that this whole collar is up like this, and on those windy days, it's great to have just this on without the hood while I'm walking along. I love it. So you can have a couple of layers on underneath quite easily and still be comfortable, still have good range of movement, and that's critical on those long days when you're in the rain all day. And I've had a thermal, a fleece, and an insulated jacket on underneath this thing, and hasn't been a trouble, and I've walked all day in that. It has the pit zips, so those zips underneath your armpits, which you can open and adjust to regulate the airflow. It's really good in Tasmania on those days where it's raining and then sunny, then raining, and you're walking along and you don't want to be taking off your jacket all the time. You can have this on, adjust all the zippers on it, on the pit zips, and regulate your airflow and your level of comfort and your level of warmth throughout the day. It's great. It fits well. I'm a size large in pretty much all the Arcteryx gear. I'm 195 centimeters tall, but quite skinny, and yeah, it's a really nice fit for me. Perfect. And like I said, my home scarves have this weighing at 484 grams, which it is crazy light for a jacket like this. It is bulletproof. But as always with Arcteryx gear, it's not cheap. The Australian website have it at $920, and on the US website it is $600 US. So I've had the jacket for 5 years, and I just thought today we'd go through a few questions. What I would like to ask myself after having this for 5 years, what are some things that you would want to know? So question number one, what do I like about this jacket? If I haven't given it away already, I really love this jacket. I've had it nearly 5 years, and it is pretty much as good as new still, and it has seen some absolutely brutal treatment. But another reason for this is that I care for it. I give it a good clean when it gets particularly dirty after a hike, but I do make a rule. I clean it every year properly. I put it through the wash, I put it through the dryer, and then I will treat it with a water repellency treatment. And we'll do that on another video. We'll run you through how I treat my jackets. I do that each year, and I do that before any massive walk of, a week or more. And I did that recently, probably the best treatment I'd ever given it on my recent trip, and it was just beating water off it like brand new jacket. So really important with that, but just love it. It's like new, great jacket. Like I said, it is seen the toughest scrub I have ever seen, and it hasn't missed a beat. The temperature regulation in this is really quite good. With those zippers and flies and everything on there, I can really get a good regulation of my temperature, and that's a problem I've had in the past when hiking, is that I can sweat. Even on those wet, cool days, I'll be sweaty, and that hasn't been an issue with this so much. The whole hood adjustment system, I love that. It is one of a kind, I think, for the Arcteryx jackets. They've spent a lot of time developing this, and I really like the whole system. It looks similar to other jackets, but it's just, I don't know, it works better. I've still got my Mont belt, and I've still got a Paddy Palin jacket. It just works a bit better than those, I think, and you just get that better seal. And I find that with the insulated jackets they make as well, is it's just a better seal around the face. The zips are absolutely awesome. Like I said, with those pockets, there's just nothing getting in them. I love that. I love the fact that those pockets are high and I can access them when I've got a pack on. The hem adjusters and the drop down hem. Yeah, and I didn't know I wanted that drop down hem until I had it. And I'd always had longer jackets that went down to the thigh in the past, and I thought I always wanted them. But as long as these are combined with some good overpants in those torrential rain days, it's not a problem at all. And with the overpants, I did find I loved the combination of this with the Arcteryx Zeta SL overpants, but I just destroyed 2 pairs of them 2 years in a row, and we're not going back there. So I have ended up going with a pair of the Beta AR overpants to complement the jacket, and they are just as bomb-proof as this. They are a bit heavier, but talk about them in another video. Quick note, if you're there Googling now looking for the Beta AR jacket, since I love it so much, there is a jacket called the Beta, and that is a different jacket to the Beta AR. This is the Beta AR all around. The Beta is a different jacket. Now, I reached out to Arcteryx just to explain what the difference is, and one of the very nice customer service people came back to me while I was making this video in response to my question. I asked for the key differences and I wanted an answer from Arcteryx. They tell me the Beta AR has a drop hood, so there is a big collar at the front and the hood is separate from the collar. This jacket also uses Gore-Tex Pro, which is our most rugged and hardcore technical material. It is the most weatherproof material on the market. I'll go into that in a little bit. The Beta, not the Beta AR, uses CNET Gore-Tex, which is still fantastic, just slightly less rugged and tough, but still awesome. Hence, there is a price difference. This jacket has a normal storm hood where the collar is attached to the hood and it all comes up with the zip. So you don't have that separate collar. The Beta AR is an advanced version of the Beta. The Beta AR comes with extra features like pit zips for ventilation and a bigger drop hood. So yeah, the quick differences that they told me are that with the Beta compared to the Beta AR, the Beta just has all one collar and hood. It doesn't have the separate collar. The Beta AR is made with the Gore-Tex Pro, which is the thicker, more durable Gore-Tex, whereas the Beta is made with the Gore-Tex CNET. So it's not as strong a fabric, still a good quality fabric, but not as strong. And the Beta is lacking in terms of things like pit zips. It doesn't have those, and it just doesn't have the same sort of configuration on the hood. Well, you're not getting as many features, which is obvious. When you look at the price, there's a couple of $100 price difference, I think, at least. But the Beta AR, I think, is overall better jacket, and you pay for it. Question number 2, I'd ask myself, what do I dislike about this jacket? Well, there's not a whole lot to dislike. If you absolutely must have a longer jacket, so not a waist sort of length jacket, then this isn't the jacket for you. But like I said, that hem, I think, fills the void there for me. I always used to wear long jackets. I'll never go back. Like all jackets, this does tend to wet through over time. That's not necessarily a dislike or complaint. It's just a fact of life. And as long as you treat it properly and look after it, then you're going to get a long, long life out of this thing. And like I said, we'll go through that in another video. And I'm trying to find more dislikes, but I can't. There's nothing I dislike about this jacket. I love it. My best mate Walzer, he's got the same jacket, so you'll see us on videos. We're always wearing the Beta AR, the exact same jackets. Question 3, would I buy the jacket again? Absolutely no doubt I would buy this jacket again. Right now, the jacket is hard to find in Australia, but when I reached out to Arcteryx, they said it will be available again from the 1st of May 2023, but it probably will sell out fast because it's one of their most popular jackets. But if you're looking in Australia and you can't see one, I recommend you email them, contact them. In the past, I've done that before as well for gear, and they'll tell me when it's arriving, although I even put some aside for me and send it out when it does arrive, but it's not going anywhere anytime soon if you can't find it in Australia. It is on the American website. It's available there right now. If I couldn't get this for whatever reason and I wanted an Arcteryx jacket, I would probably get the Alpha SV jacket. Not one I've tried, but it probably specs up very similar to this and is a very similar price. And finally, the 4th question, if I didn't want to get this jacket for whatever reason, or if it wasn't available to me, what else would I do? And I have done research for other jackets in the last little while. I do like to look occasionally and see what else is out there. Is there something better? Is there something lighter that can give me the same durability and weather resistance? So I recently did a bit of research, and if I had to get a different jacket altogether, there are 2 alternatives that I would probably look at. The first one would be the Norrona Trollveggen Gore-Tex Pro Light. I'm probably totally mispronouncing that. I think it's a Norwegian brand, but that looks like it's the same sort of fabric. It's great fabric and looks like a very similar style jacket to this. The other one would be the Mammut Nordwand Advanced jacket, again with a Gore-Tex Pro. I think it's Gore-Tex Pro. So yeah, that's another jacket that I would look at if I had to get another one. If I wanted to stick with an Australian brand, I would probably go for the Mont Odyssey jacket. If I was going to get an Australian brand, it is quite a bit heavier. It's 700 and something grams, quite a bit heavier. But the reason I just prefer not to go that way is it's made out of a different fabric. And if you haven't heard me say it already in this video, the Gore-Tex Pro, I love that fabric. It is just, I think it is perfectly suited to the Tasmanian wilderness and the scrub and the rock and the weather. Arcteryx have done a lot of work with Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex don't sell their fabric to everyone. You'll notice that a lot of other brands, they use a different, they don't have to, I guess. They use a different material called Hydronaut or H2No, all these different materials. Arcteryx, Patagonia, and a few others use the Gore-Tex Pro fabric. Over the last 25 years, they have helped develop Gore-Tex fabrics in all their products. They have worked closely with Gore, who make Gore-Tex. So with all their gear testing, Arcteryx have fed back to Gore-Tex and helped develop these crazy fabrics. And there's a really good video, which I will leave a link to below, where they go through sort of the story of Gore-Tex and Arcteryx working together. And that's pretty cool. I guess the main thing with Gore-Tex Pro, it is like a 3-layer membrane. You'll see that on the video below. Give us all these amazing properties where you can still be comfortable in a jacket in the rain and in these extreme conditions. And like I said, with those other jackets, I haven't used them. They're what I've researched and what I think sort of would compare to the Beta AR. And yeah, that's it. I would buy it again. I love the jacket. I love the Arcteryx Beta AR jacket and would strongly recommend it. I can't see this thing failing. I can see this going at least another 5 years, if not longer. You'll see it there on my future adventures, as you have done in the last 5 years. It'll be there on when it's raining, as it always is. I'll have this jacket on. It'll be going strong. So yeah, that's the Beta AR. If you have enjoyed the video, if you want to download your own little Mouser's review form about the gear, a little summary of today's video, you can download it for free below. The link is below. That'll get you a free PDF with a summary of today's review. Also sign you up to our new newsletter that we're going to try and send out periodically. If you want to look at some other gear reviews, then check this video out. That's where I look at some other gear, and we'll continue on. We're going to come back very shortly and we're going to do a how I clean my Gore-Tex jacket and how I treat it before a big walk and make sure that it's still got the water repellency in those big stormy days. It's been great to see you, and I look forward to seeing you next time, and we'll see you on the next one.